Okay, so right now I'm in the airport. I have a flight in 3 hours, and I have a little bit of time today. I'm flying all day to listen to something. So let me just have a look at our list here.
Attention passengers.
So I think the next string quartet was a piece by Javier Torres Maldonado. Yeah, so it was his second string quartet. This piece was written in 2015, so it's just a little bit older than yesterday's. And I have a number of scores of Maldonado's because he was a guest composer at a workshop I attended in Quebec in 2018, and it was a composition workshop with a string quartet, so he shared a lot of string quartet pieces. And if we look at the score here, it was commissioned with a significant grant. So Maldonado is a Mexican composer, but he's active in Italy, and he studied with Franco Donatoni, who is an Italian modernist composer with a very sort of idiosyncratic style. Hopefully we'll get to listen to some Donatoni eventually. And you can see that this piece calls for some quarter tone accidentals and some okay, so he has it sort of swapped. I usually do the opposite, but he has accidentals for quarter tone raised and lowered, and accidentals for slightly higher, slightly lower. And I know that Maldonado uses some spectral techniques in his pieces, from what I could remember, so that could be why. There's microtonal stuff here. This is a really significant piece. Unfortunately, I don't have the recording anymore. It's on my old laptop, and I was able to find the first movement, which is only 8 minutes long, which is better than nothing. I think to just keep plugging away. Today I'm just going to listen to the first movement, and I'm afraid to... Well, we'll look at the first system here, just so you can see. This is the type of detail that we're going to be looking at, or that I'm going to be looking at when I listen to this. And yeah, very heavily notated, precise music. And I'll let you know what I think on the other side here. I'm just going to listen to the first movement. It's on his YouTube channel, if you're curious. And its subtitle is... Give me a second here. I'm going to cut to a translation. Okay, so Google says that the English translation is thus traveling in undulation posture. It's probably not that exactly, but that's a start. Okay. And we got eighth equals 55, which is I mean, it's obviously very slow, but it's something that I would think of in Robert Crumb. Okay, I just looked up this dedication, and it appears to be a German composer who was probably one of Javier's contemporaries. So the whole piece is dedicated to him. I think that is probably enough of looking at the front matter. I'm going to have a listen here, and I'll let you know what I think. I encourage you to go to the YouTube video and listen along with me. And yeah, let's get into this string quartet number 2. It's wow, it's really cool. This is a really cool first movement. I really want to hear the other movements, but I unfortunately can't right now. Yeah, where do I start with this? So, I think the form of this movement is really clear. Like, there's a really strong first 3 minutes, which are almost like a self-contained piece, and then it gets into a longer section at a quiet dynamic where the whole ensemble is kind of playing notes that are very in close proximity, and this idea of like accelerados and decelerandos gets expanded in that section, which is really nice. And there's these like ideas of once again, this is the final. Yeah, there's this he has these moments where just like 1 or 2 measures are super slow, or there's like a fermata that takes up like 20 seconds, and he just sits on a particular technique that everything freezes, and that's how he ends the movement, with like many, well, not many measures, but like 4 or 5 measures that are like that. And I think that's really cool. It's like he started from the sound and pacing and then worked out the notation later, and I think that's like very apparent. At least that's what I'm assuming resulted in that those sort of decisions. And obviously if you have a listen to it, there's a lot of extended techniques going on. There's not only like extreme dynamics and very complex rhythms, but there's this like circular bowing idea that textures a lot of passages, and I think it's a really unique sounding little piece of music. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. Not the best day to be listening to something this complex. Like, this is kind of the worst setting to be in. But you know, I did it, and I listened to this in 2018. It was probably the last time I listened to it. So I needed a refresher. Like, I have a different ear now for different things, and it was worth revisiting his music. And we're probably going to listen to a lot of other string quartets by him, so I'm looking forward to that.